Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about kit cars and other car topics. If you like what you see, please subscribe and hit the notifications below. Today we are going to be prepping all our raw parts that are going to be internal in the car so they don't rust. Hi everyone, and welcome to the channel about building kit cars and other car topics. If you like what you see, please hit the subscribe and notification buttons below and share with others on social media. Well, here I am with my Factory 5 33 Hot Rod version 2, and I'm really excited about today because it feels to me like it's the first day that I'm actually working on the car. You know, I have done stuff on the car. There's been a few videos. I've actually made some progress, but then I kind of like hit this wall and, you know, missing bolts, missing parts, modifications, you know, needing to call tech support, but they're only open Monday through Friday during work hours, which I'm at work during those hours. So just a lot of little impedances, if you will. Plus, it's been like 105 degrees in the garage, so I had to get a swamp cooler, which I'll do a little separate video on that. And it's just been a little bit of a struggle. And so that, along with my full-time job, has been kind of crazy. But this weekend is clear. I'm working on the car. All the tools that I had to order in and paint supplies and things like that, most of that stuff has actually come in. So I think we're going to get a really nice, you know, I'm sure there's going to be some bumps in the road, but I think it's actually going to go smooth. And if I hit a wall with something, I'll be able to move up. There's plenty of stuff to move on to, where before I kind of had stages that I was stuck at. So it's going to be a great day, and I hope you stay with me for it. First thing I'm going to do is on this side of the chassis, when I was pulling the tape off, when they first shipped the car, there's a few spots where it actually pulled the powder coating off, which of course I'm not happy about. But I had to find a epoxy-based satin black finish to match this, and I believe I have that. So not only am I gonna repair these spots, there's 3 spots over here, I'm gonna actually get the same paint and paint all the raw parts that is just raw steel right now that I need to, that's going to go inside like the doors and places that you're not going to see. So I'm just using a special direct to metal epoxy rattle can type spray, which will match this. You know, I didn't want to go through the 3 or 4 process of, you know, primer, build primer and all that stuff, because it's stuff that's just, you want to seal, you don't want it to be rusting out while it's inside your door or whatever. So just simple stuff. But for me, I'm moving forward. I'm finally, you know, sealing this metal so it's not rusting, stuff like that. So that's what we're going to start out with today, and then we're going to probably get to the aluminum panels and start, you know, marking off all that stuff, drilling that stuff, and there's plenty more. So we'll just see how far we get. Stay tuned.
So while that paint's drying, I'm preparing all the parts that I'm going to spray with the same exact epoxy paint. And I'm going through 3 grits of paper. But as you can see, you know, whether this came like this from the factory, I believe so, because most of the rest of the stuff is not too bad. But, you know, you can start to see that there might be a little bit of rust. I mean, obviously this is from the welding and stuff, but this, I think, is moisture probably from back east. So that's why it was really important for me, especially bringing this, you know, swamp cooler out here, that I'm going to pump all this humidity and have all this raw metal just not happening. So we're going to sand it up and give it a good coat of paint and seal it up so there's no longer any rust. we're clocking in at 11:30. It's 94 degrees in the garage. Got our parts drying. I got one more spray I got to do. And so what I ended up doing is I bought 2 cans of flat. Before that, I accidentally bought 2 cans of gloss. And I was going to return them. And then I'm like, well, maybe I might need those extra cans, and I'll spray those first and then put the satin over the top, and then I'll get the right sheen. And I'm glad I did that. So I ended up spraying gloss first and went through a whole can. And then just dusted the, not really dusted, but one last coat of satin on the other side. Let it dry, flipped them over, and now I'm just using pure satin for the other 3 coats. And got one more coat to do, and we should be good to go. I'm trying to keep this stuff out of the sun right now while I'm spraying, but after I'm done spraying, doesn't matter. And doing pretty good. But, you know, the swamp cooler, if you have the door open, the swamp cooler's not going to do much. So it's pretty hot. Of course, I don't have it on when I'm talking because otherwise you wouldn't be able to hear me. But it's actually quiet in general. But, you know, trying to make it a little bit easier for everybody. So, mission accomplished. This is going to really push me forward because now I don't have to worry about raw parts in the garage. In a few days, I'm going to get all my supplies in for the real paint, all PPG. And I'm going to be spraying some of the suspension parts and some of the parts that need to be in actual real color, like metallic gray and pearlized blue and stuff. And so this is easy. The next one is going to be a nightmare, just because it's a bunch of parts, and I've never used automotive paint before. So there's just so many catalysts and reducers and all that kind of crazy stuff going on that it's just going to be kind of a cluster because I don't really have that much room. I use my desk here, and I'm probably going to spray in the backyard, wet down the ground at like 5 a.m. in the morning, and then try to shoot. So, and then I'm going to have to hang stuff and try to get just a pristine coat. This stuff, it looks great. I had one thing that flipped over, but it really didn't mark anything up. But this is all internal parts, except for the engine mount plates. But besides that, this is all internal stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. I didn't want it to rust. And I wanted it to match the frame. So, but the next stuff is high quality paint, performance, freaking awesome color stuff. So once I get that stuff painted, this thing's going to get put together. And then we're going to get this thing put together. So I'm thinking I'm going to do this in my gray color, and this in gray color, and then my lower control arms I think I'm going to do in color too. It comes in aluminum, which looks cool. It looks really cool actually, and I know you don't really have to seal this, but over time it will corrode. So I think I'm going to seal this up, give it a nice color so I don't have like 25 different colors on the car, and should be good to go. So we'll see how well I hold out in the heat here, but hopefully going to start drilling some panels today.
Well, this video is running a little bit long, so wait till the next video where we do all the aluminum panels. Have a great day.